Welcome to another video brought to you by Veterans Upward Bound. This one today is on tips to be successful in online courses. We know as the world is shifting into things being more online and more virtual due to the current pandemic, we wanted to make a video to kind of help ease your transition and help you be successful in these online courses. So online learning can be very different and something new that we all have to get used to and we're all not really accustomed to. This can cause us to have a little bit more stress and anxiety when it comes to being prepared for our class and or being successful in our class. One of the things that can help us ease the stress and anxiety is to be prepared. Things like this video and the tools that I will be giving you and talking to you about in this video can help you ease a lot of that stress and anxiety. For first generation college students and people who don't have any resources of other people who went to college, it can be very difficult to tackle school in general, much less even being online. It can be even more scary. So, some resources to combat this are emailing your professor and your classmates. That can help a lot. And also friends who have taken the class before, being able to talk to those people can help you ease some of that stress and anxiety. I felt that with learning going online, I wouldn't be able to make any friends in the class, so I wouldn't have people to work with, but it was actually the opposite effect. A lot of the students had the same concern as I did, so we were there for each other even more than we ever were. So there are some advantages to online learning, believe it or not. One of the great things about online learning is that it's more flexible and that if you are also a student worker or you have kids, it can help you create your own schedule for when you get your classwork done and when you meet with professors and such. You're able to review the lecture videos as much as you need. This is something that is so important and that I feel every student should take advantage of now that we are online. Along the same lines as pausing the lecture video and taking notes, we are able to have our lectures recorded so we can go back as many times as we want when we're studying to be able to really digest the material. And lastly, most important, you can work wherever works best for you. You don't necessarily have to sit in a classroom in uncomfortable chairs around other people. You can be in your own comfort of your own space that you've made for yourself to study. When there are advantages, there are always disadvantages. So there are some disadvantages of online learning. In my opinion, the biggest one is discipline. It's really hard to stay disciplined and make sure that you're holding yourself accountable to getting your work done and that you're paying attention during lecture because you can do your lectures anywhere. You can be at a coffee shop, you can be at your kitchen table, you can be at a desk, you can be in the library. Wherever works for you, but that can also be a challenge because you can easily get yourself distracted and you are responsible for what you do. So you have to make sure that you are taking care of every single thing. You don't have your professor there to kind of push you to get your work done. You have to take care of it on your own. Another thing that is difficult is that you aren't always able to just raise your hand and ask your professor a question like you're used to in class. Some professors will be posting videos, pre-recorded videos, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to get your questions answered, but you can always trust an email to help you through that difficulty. So, learn your online classroom. One of the most important things doing an online class is to familiarize yourself with the classroom so that you're not missing assignments, so you're not missing exams and missing test times and points that you should be getting. So before your class, I suggest you go into your Blackboard or whatever program that your school uses to just look around, get to know where everything is, especially some important things are to know where the syllabus is, to know where the lecture content will be posted, to know where assignments will be posted, discussion boards will be posted, and any specific things that you need to do in routine. So for example, if your professor wants you to be logged in on Mondays and Wednesdays at 3 o'clock, you need to make sure that you know that so that you aren't missing those lectures because some professors will still be doing participation points through that way. As I mentioned before, accountability is so important in online classes. Make sure that you are setting yourself up for success. So holding yourself accountable just as if you were attending lecture. Even though it's your online class, you can make your own schedule. Make sure that you make a schedule that works for you and that you prioritize your learning. Make sure that you're using the similar tools that you would for in-person classes. For example, email your professor and sign up for a virtual office hours, or get together with another student through Zoom. These things can help you hold yourself accountable and help you be successful in the class. If you know you learn best in a specific area, set up that environment. Allow yourself to be silent, or if you like to listen to jazz music while you work, those type of things that you know what works for you, use those to help you hold yourself accountable. And most importantly, check Blackboard and email your professor for any updates or any messages. Make sure that you continually check Blackboard because that is where you're going to get all of your information from with this online classroom. Next thing I want to talk to you guys about is time management. Similar to accountability, time management is one of the key things that you need to succeed in an online and an in-person class. I'm sure that you have all heard that for every 1 hour of class, you need to do 2 or 3 hours of studying outside of class. It's really important that you are scheduling out your study time as well as scheduling out your time for your lectures. Some important time management tips that can help you get through it are: don't try to do everything in one sitting. Use a calendar, as mentioned previously, or a schedule. Write things down that you need to get completed and when you are going to complete them. Lastly, use your time wisely. Try not to be watching TV while you're studying. Try not to be around distractions. Eliminate those distractions so that you can quickly get your work done and get it done to your best of your ability. Study spaces are very, very, very important when it comes to online classes. Make sure you have your area, your space, what you like to study in for your online class, because if not, it can cause you to be overwhelmed by your class and a little bit distraught when it comes to studying. What I like to do is I like to clear off my desk, and my desk is in a quiet space. I make sure I have everything with me: my pencils, my notebooks, anything that I need, my highlighters, and that's all I put on my desk. I eliminate all my clutter so that it's just me and my studying. I keep myself free from distractions. I like to listen to music while I study, so I'll usually listen to some jazz or some electronic music that helps me get through it, but something without words because words tend to distract me. And I also make sure that I have my laptop charger with me in case I need it. This seems like something small, but it can really become an unraveling distraction if you have to go get your laptop charger because then you want a snack and then you end up talking to your family or your roommate. And it just causes unnecessary distractions than if you would have just had it with you. I cannot stress this enough. Make sure you write important things down. Scheduling things out is not only good for your organization, but it'll help you keep what you have to do in your brain if you write it down. So, speaking of distractions, some things that have been proven to distract students from studying are being around TV or people who can interrupt you from your work. What I like to do is if I'm in my apartment, I tell my roommates, I'm going to study. If you guys need me, don't ask me for anything unless it's an emergency. I need my space. I need to be able to study. And I can never study in front of the TV. The TV is one of the biggest distractions besides our phones. TV can really cause you to do something in 7 hours that could have taken you 1 hour. Speaking of your phone, turning off your notifications helps you a lot so that you aren't getting distracted by those Facebook notifications or emails or anything like that. Another thing that is important is to set out designated times for your coursework so that you know specifically every morning I wake up and I do my homework, or every night before I go to sleep, I schedule out 3 hours to do my homework so that you aren't stressed out about when you're going to get things done. If you have a scheduled time, that is setting yourself up for success. And another important thing, and it's a struggle for online classes because we're not so used to it, is to not visit other websites when we're on our coursework. I made that mistake when I started my first online class. I would be listening to my professor, and then he would say something, and then I would make me think of something else, and then I'd just Google it. Since I'm on my computer anyway, just Google it, and then I would get into kind of like a rabbit hole of a bunch of things. The next thing I know, 15 minutes later, I haven't been listening to my professor at all. So it's really important that when you're doing your class, you stay on your class's website, and that's it. Here are some questions that you can ask yourself to help you prepare yourself. And I would suggest you write these questions down to get yourself a little bit of a setup so that you know what is going to help you the best when it comes time to do your classes. So what time works best for you? Do you work best in the morning, right when you're drinking your coffee? Do you have a lot of distractions in the morning because your kids are always around and hyper in the morning? Or do you work best at night when your brain is alert and you are ready to focus completely on your work? Everybody's time is going to be different for them. So some people say they work best in the morning, like me. I work best in the morning, but some people are really not awake and they can't be alert like they need to be to study in the morning. So you need to figure out what time in your schedule works best for you. What type of learner are you? There are different types of learner. There's auditory learners, visual learners, kinesthetic learners, tactile learners. For you to know your learning style can help you a lot when it comes to online classes. There are some quizzes online that can help you decide your type of learning, and they also give you some study tips. So if you just go onto Google and search, what type of learner am I? They'll give you a bunch of questions to answer. Then they'll give you some ways that it's best for you to study. I found that doing that was helpful for me. And what tools can you do to help you? For example, if you're an auditory learner, it can help you to rewatch your lectures because you need to listen to it more. These are the type of things that you can see if you go online and take a quiz. They're really simple. They're all free. I would suggest you do that before you get your class started. Classroom participation. So one of the things that is kind of difficult in online classes is how are you going to participate? Your professors will probably have a guideline for classroom participation in the syllabus, which is really important to look at, but it can also help you as a learner. Even if your professor doesn't require participation, it can help you to get the good grades that you want to get. So following along in discussions is one way that you can be an active learner. Participate often. Ask your professor questions during lecture if you have a scheduled lecture time. Email him if you don't, or email her if you don't. Post comments, ask questions, and check in often. I would suggest just checking in on your class every single day. Even if you don't study for an hour, just looking over your material for 10 minutes can really help. Please, please, please be an advocate for yourself. If you're not understanding something or you don't know how to solve something, please speak up. You are the only person that knows whether you get it or not. Speak up and reach out to your resources. The Math Center will still be open. The Chemistry Success Center will still be open. The Writing Center will still be open. All of these resources are here for us as students to use, so we should use them. Group projects and assignments can be something that is also stressful when it comes to online learning. I would suggest being involved in your group and starting your project early. If somebody is not taking the lead and saying, we should start this project, be that person. Be that person to reach out to everybody and start the project. Speaking of that, reaching out. Whenever you get confused by something, even if it's small, a lot of courses piggyback on themselves. So one thing builds on another topic, builds on another topic. So if you don't understand the base, you should ask your professor for some help. Contact your professor. You can sign up for tutoring. You can reach out to other classmates, but make sure you do it early. Get help early so that you are not falling behind in your class. The next topic is procrastination, which really relates to time management and accountability and distractions. But procrastination is something that everybody experiences. Every student experiences it, and it becomes even harder with online learning because we are able to do it in the comfort of our own home. But there are some ways to fight procrastination that you will be able to do. One of the most important things is to have a plan. I keep telling you to write things down, and it's so important. Write down what time you're going to devote to the class, when you're going to do it, and what you're going to do. As soon as you have that plan, it'll ease some of your anxiety of just getting started. Another thing that can help is find a study buddy. Ask someone in your class. You can email them. Ask them to help you study. Ask them to go over some certain material with you so that you will both be able to be accountable. Being aware of your distractions, identifying them, and stepping away from them can be really hard, but it's very important. Another thing that can help procrastination is to break a big task into smaller ones. It'll help you throughout the whole semester. Don't think of it as a 10-page paper that you have to write by the end of the semester. Think about it as a paper that you have to write 1 page a week. That'll help you get through it. It'll help it seem less daunting, and you'll probably get a better grade on it if you start early anyway. Another important thing is to treat the online class just as if it was face-to-face. Create a schedule, stick with the schedule, write it down, and you will be able to be successful. Some digital resources that you can use are Quizlet. Quizlet is an online resource for making flashcards, as well as Go Conquer. That's another flashcard and note-taking platform that can help you studying. Evernote is another note-taking platform that can help you. It's good with tablets. Study Blue is also similar to Quizlet. It makes flashcards, and you can also play games on that. The Hemingway app, it helps you with grammatical errors. And most importantly is Khan Academy. Khan Academy is a free video library of so many topics, from writing and grammar to physics to biology to anatomy. This resource is going to help you so much. There's been many times where my professor has explained something to me and I didn't understand it, but Khan Academy really helped me get through it, helped me better understand it since I am a visual learner. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that this video helped you and you will be able to succeed. All you have to do is put your mind to it. Confucius said, "He who says he can and he who says he can't are both right." Your mind space is going to be the most important thing to help you get through this class. And as always, we at the Veterans Upward Bound Center are here to help you with any questions, any concerns, or to help you find any resources that you need.